Today I solved a major crisis, not global, not emotional, but domestic. My vacuum robot declared war on a table and its cables. Yes, exactly that table. And honestly, I sided with the robot. It had to go. Enough was enough. Every time it wants to clean, I have to lift chairs, cables, and random stuff like I'm prepping for a tornado. It looks like spaghetti exploded under there, and it messes with my inner peace. I can't sleep well with that kind of chaos beneath my desk. But I needed a table for work, so I had a genius idea. What if, hear me out, a table with no legs, floating like a wizard's desk, magical, mess free. Luckily, I had a bit of wall between the windows. The perfect spot for some DIY magic. So I grabbed the chunky oak board I just got for 80 euros at Bauhaus and trimmed 13 centimeter off the long side to make it 67 centimeter deep and 120 centimeter long. Perfect for me because I'm not exactly NBA high. That 13 centimeter leftover piece, boom, it became the back support. Nothing goes to waste in this house. Also, I trimmed the edges to 45 degrees. Now it's aerodynamic enough to fly if it ever wants to, and it looks sharper than my haircut. Then I put a 3mm radius on the upper edges and grinded the whole thing to 40 grit, so it feels like a baby dolphin right now. Then I ordered some cheap black angle irons from Amazon. But spoiler, they were about as strong as wet noodles, so I upgraded. Grabbed some metal sheets, steel profiles, and went full MacGyver. I welded the support bars directly on the table. No measuring twice, just wipes, sparks, and smell of burnt wood. And then came the paint job. Black metal paint and primer I found from a past project. Probably expired, but hey, it still stuck. And then I screwed the frame to the table like a pro. And for the grand finish, I oiled the wood with some ancient natural wax oil mix stuff I found in the last corner of my garage. It was drier than my humor, but it worked. Whoa, that wood grain popped out like it was on Instagram. That expired oil, MVP of the project. Rest in peace, little bottle. Now came the fun part. Finding the wall studs. So I drilled a hole, used a spy cam. Yes, really a spy cam. But I saw nothing and said YOLO, drilled right in the middle. Worst case, if I really hit nothing, I still had 25 centimeter long screws and a solid wood beam on the other side of the window. So basically, I could have mounted a car on that wall. I used 6 screws total, 4 small, 2 big, and did it all solo. My assistant, a chair. It held the table while I leveled and drilled like a one-person construction crew. And it turned out way more stable than expected. I moved all my gear over, but something was missing. Drawers. I need a place to hide all my random stuff I never use, but refuse to throw away. Also, from the couch I could see the screw holes. Not cute. So I thought, wooden dowels. Nah, too professional. And I found some leftover plastic bits from my shutters. I painted them black and popped them in. Now I can still access the screws if I ever need to tweak things. So yeah, the project's not totally finished. Legs are gone, but still need drawers and to tame the cable jungle. But that's a problem for future me. Stay tuned for part 2, Robot vs. Furniture. The saga continues.